Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Krishna. Welcome everyone. Welcome back to another daily reading. I'm the only one here right now, and but I'd like to welcome everyone who might watch this later. And we are continuing where we left off yesterday on Canto 1, Chapter 10, Text 24. 1:10:24 if you'd like to follow along. So I'm just diving right in. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam namaskritya narang chaiva narottamam devim saraswatim vyasam tato jayam buddhirayat. Shrinvatam swakata Krishna punya shravana kirtana hridyantastoya bhadrani vidunoti sahrit satam nashthaprayashvabhadreshu nityam bhagavata sevaya bhagavatyutama shloke bhaktir bhavati naishtiki. Hare Krishna. Hi Bo Prabhuji, we got Kala Prabhu just joined. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
I just finished the invocation right as you're joining. So anyway, happy you're here. I'm just diving straight in here to Canto 1, Text 10, or sorry, Canto 1, Chapter 10, Text 24. All right. Sava ayam sakyanagita satkato vedeshu guyeshu chaguyavadibihi ya eka isho jagaratma lilaya shrejatyavatyatina tatra sajjate. Oh dear friends, here is that very personality of Godhead whose attractive and confidential pastimes are described in the confidential parts of Vedic literature by his great devotees. It is he only who creates, maintains, and annihilates the material world, and yet remains unaffected. Purport. As it is stated in the Bhagavad Gita, all the Vedic literatures are glorifying the greatness of Lord Krishna. Here it is confirmed in the Bhagavatam also. The Vedas are expanded by many branches and sub-branches by great devotees and empowered incarnations of the Lord like Vyas, Narada, Shukadeva Goswami, the Kumaras, Kapila, Prahlad, Janaka, Bali, and Yamaraj. But in the Srimad Bhagavatam especially, the confidential parts of his activities are described by the confidential devotee Shukadeva Goswami. In the Vedanta Sutras or Upanishads, there is only a hint of the confidential parts of his pastimes. In such Vedic literatures as the Upanishads, the Lord has expressively been distinguished from the mundane conception of his existence. His identity being fully spiritual, his form, name, quality, and paraphernalia, and so on, have been elaborately distinguished from matter, and therefore he is sometimes misunderstood by less intelligent persons as impersonal. But factually he is the Supreme Person, Bhagavan, and he is partially represented as Paramatma, or impersonal Brahman. Yada yadharmena tamodiyo nrapa jivanti tatraisha hi sadvata kila tate bhagam satyam ritam dayam yasho Vavaya rupani dadhad yuge yuge. Whenever there are kings and administrators living like animals in the lowest mode of existence, the Lord in his transcendental form manifests his supreme power. The truth positive shows special mercy to the faithful, performs wonderful activities, and manifests various transcendental forms as is necessary in different periods and ages. I'm just going to tell you a quick funny story. Call but you're the only one here, just so you know. But yeah, this verse, you know.
Jay, real quick, happy to be here to hear. So share,
Uh,
share the verse and the funny story. Thank you.
yeah, thank you. Yeah. Um, anyway, this verse, we're just hearing about the Lord showing mercy to the faithful, and I may not be that faithful, but I'm like trying to be, or trying to, increase my faithfulness. Anyway, we had a Sunday program here, and I cooked. I made kitchery. I made fruit salad, like just excuse me, apples and grapes, mango lassi, and then I went to a program in Columbus last night, and we got some extra pakoras from their program. Kitchery, pakoras, fruit, mango lassi, and then Rasalila and Ashok Prabhu came and brought some cucumber salad, and Rasalila Mataji made cookies. And I made a big thing of kitchery, and I was thinking big, like, okay, we're going to get 20, 30 people. And they're thinking, yeah, we're not going to have that many people. So she made like a dozen cookies, small amounts of things. Anyway, the program started. We had very few people came. Um, but it was nice, just mostly chanting and serving out prasad. Oh, excuse me. And everybody was eating nicely, having a good appetite, and I pretty much served everybody, and I took my prasad last. And Rasalila Mataji took a cookie and put it in a glass cup that was sitting like in where the clean dishes are, and I think she was saving it for later. And she had a whole container of cookie batter or whatever that she put in the fridge. So anyway, everybody took prasad, and I took prasad, and I was like wanting more cookies. I was like, they're really good, and I was like, I just wanted another one, and all the cookies were gone. So, oh well, and everybody, we're kind of like cleaning up, and people are starting to leave, so we cleaned up, and uh, I brought Krishna Garanga home, and when I got back, everybody was gone, and I just was getting ready for the reading, and I was thinking maybe if she leaves that cookie dough or that cookie batter, it's like homemade, in the fridge, then I'm definitely gonna eat some of it because I don't know why I just was really wanting like some of that cookie stuff.
Yeah.
And so I got back and I checked the fridge. No, she took it. Whatever, that's fine. And I was just like, I don't know why. I was just like, I just wanted not a lot, just like another cookie. The cookies were small too. And I'm like kind of like just getting stuff together, getting ready for the reading. And I think Ashok or somebody, they're like putting stuff away. And it's so funny, like in this corner, there's like some dishes and stuff. There's like a glass dish, and then like the glass cups on top of the glass dish, like put away real nicely. But there was like just a cookie inside of the cup. Like whoever arranged it didn't realize that there was a cookie still in it. And I was like, oh, thank you, Krishna. And I did ate it. I just thought that was funny because Krishna knew my desire, and had whoever was putting the stuff away just didn't realize that there was a cookie still in there, and they put it away all nice, like with the cookie in it. Like obviously not supposed to be there. So anyway, I thought that was funny. All right, Krishna.
Yeah. I'm so happy again to see you sent a video yesterday too of people. I don't know if it was a Sunday program or where, like, what was going on exactly earlier or later, but many people there and chanting, and it's so nice to to relish the prasad and the pastimes of devotees and prasad. And it really is a transcendental thing, you know, even as you were saying, like you wanted a little more of the cookie, and it was just that nectar, you know, really. It was not intense gratification. It was like, you know, getting the bhakti from what we put into prasad and what we make in prasad and share to others is so valuable. You know, it's like really helps.
It might
Thanks.
have been a little bit in a sense gratificatory mood, but hey, it's prasad. It's okay.
It's prasad.
Anyway, I just thought it was funny, like Krishna, just to see it, like the way it was all put away and stuff was, it was like, what is this? You know, like cookie was in there. Yeah, it was just funny.
Yeah. Thanks for sharing. Yeah. Krishna does so many special things. I believe in my own experience just to feel as we are, you know, practicing in Bhakti Seva Sadhana, and then Krishna will give us like some little bit, something wherever we are. And, you know, again, that's very beneficial. It's always a blessing in that way, but it's something that might occur differently than if we were just not conscious, Krishna conscious in regular life, you know?
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. You know, Krishna consciousness gives us some platform to appreciate what Krishna is doing for us, whereas no Krishna consciousness means we can't really appreciate it, you know, generally speaking. There's no sense of, you know, Krishna existing or, what to speak, doing anything for us. You know, like the materialistic mindset is like kind of like I'm entitled to this or that, and it's easy to become like kind of ungrateful. You know, become like an ingrate in that mentality. But anyway, yeah, probably. Thanks for sharing. Uh, okay, I'll keep reading. I'll read the verse translation again. Whenever there are kings and administrators living like animals in the lowest mode of existence, the Lord in his transcendental form manifests his supreme power, the truth positive, shows special mercy to the faithful, performs wonderful activities, and manifests various transcendental forms as is necessary in different periods and ages. Purport. As mentioned above, the cosmic creation is the property of the Supreme Lord. This is the basic philosophy of Ishopanishad. Everything is the property of the Supreme Being. No one should encroach upon the property of the Supreme Lord. One should accept only what is kindly awarded by him. Therefore, the earth or any other planet or universe is the absolute property of the Lord. The living beings are certainly his parts and parcels or sons, and thus every one of them has a right to live at the mercy of the Lord to execute his prescribed work. No one, therefore, can encroach upon the right of another individual man or animal without being so sanctioned by the Lord. The king or the administrator is the representative of the Lord to look after the management of the Lord's will. He must therefore be a recognized person like Maharaj Yudhisthira or Parikshit. Such kings have full responsibility and knowledge from authorities about the administration of the world. But at times, due to the influence of the ignorance mode of material nature, tamaguna, the lowest of the material modes, kings and administrators come into power without knowledge and responsibility. And such foolish administrators live like animals for the sake of their own personal interest. The result is that the whole atmosphere becomes surcharged with anarchy and vicious elements. Nepotism, bribery, cheating, aggression, and therefore famine, epidemic, war, and similar other disturbing features become prominent in human society. And the devotees of the Lord or the faithful are persecuted by all means. All these symptoms indicate the time of an incarnation of the Lord to reestablish the principles of religion and to vanquish the maladministrators. This is also confirmed in the Bhagavad Gita. The Lord then appears in his transcendental form without any tinge of material qualities. He descends just to keep the state of his creation in a normal condition. The normal condition is that the Lord has provided each and every planet with all the needs of the native living beings. They can happily live and execute their predestined occupations to attain salvation at the end, following the rules and regulations mentioned in the revealed scriptures. The material world is created to satisfy the whims of the Nitya Buddha, or everlasting conditioned souls, just as naughty boys are provided with playing cradles. Otherwise, there was no need of the material world. But when they become intoxicated with the power of material science to exploit the resources unlawfully without the sanction of the Lord, and that also only for sense gratification, there is necessity of the Lord's incarnation to chastise the rebellious and to protect the faithful. When he descends, he exhibits superhuman acts just to prove his supreme right. And materialists like Ravana, Hiranyakashipu, and Kamsa are sufficiently punished. He acts in a manner which no one can imitate. For example, the Lord, when he appeared as Rama, bridged the Indian Ocean. When he appeared as Krishna, from his very childhood, he showed superhuman activities by killing Putana, Agashura, Shakatashura, Kalya, and so on. And then his maternal uncle, Kamsa. When he was at Dwarka, he married 16,108 queens, and all of them were blessed with a sufficient number of children. The sum total of his personal family members amounted to about 100,000, properly known as the Yadu Vangsha. And again, during his lifetime, he managed to vanquish them all. He is famous as the Govardhana Dhari Hari, because he lifted at the age of only 7 the hill known as Govardhan. The Lord killed many undesirable kings in his time, and as a kshatriya he fought chivalrously. He is famous as Asamurdhva, unparalleled. No one is equal to or greater than him. Aho alam slagyatamam yado kulam, aho alam punyatamam marhurbanam, Yaresha Pangsham Rashabhashriya Pati Swajanmana Chankramanena Chanchati. Oh, how supremely glorified is the dynasty of King Yadu, and how virtuous is the land of Mathura, where the supreme leader of all living beings, the husband of the goddess of fortune, has taken his birth and wandered in his childhood. Report. In the Bhagavad Gita, the personality of Godhead Sri Krishna has expressively given a description of his transcendental appearance, disappearance, and activities. The Lord appears in a particular family or place by his inconceivable potency. He does not take his birth as a conditioned soul, quits his body, and accepts another body. His birth is like the appearance and disappearance of the sun. The sun arises in the eastern horizon, but that does not mean that the eastern horizon is the parent of the sun. The sun is existent in every part of the solar system, but he becomes visible at a scheduled time, and so also becomes invisible at another scheduled time. Similarly, the Lord appears in this universe like the sun, and again leaves our sight at another time. He exists at all times and at every place. But by his causeless mercy, when he appears before us, we take it for granted that he has taken his birth. Anyone who can understand this truth in terms of the statements of revealed scriptures certainly becomes liberated just after quitting the present body. Liberation is obtainable after many births and after great endeavor in patience and perseverance, in knowledge and renunciation. But simply by knowing in truth about the Lord's transcendental births and activities, one can get liberation at once. That is the verdict of the Bhagavad Gita. But those who are in the darkness of ignorance conclude that the Lord's birth and activities in the material world are similar to those of the ordinary living being. Such imperfect conclusions cannot give anyone liberation. His birth, therefore, in the family of King Yadu as the son of King Vasudeva, and his transfer into the family of Nanda Maharaj in the land of Mathura, are all transcendental arrangements made by the internal potency of the Lord. The fortunes of the Yadu dynasty and that of the inhabitants of the land of Mathura cannot be materially estimated. If simply by knowing the transcendental nature of the birth and activities of the Lord one can get liberation easily, we can just imagine what is in store for those who actually enjoyed the company of the Lord in person as a family member or as a neighbor. All those who were fortunate enough to associate with the Lord, the husband of the goddess of fortune, certainly obtained something more than what is known as liberation. Therefore, rightly, the dynasty and the land are both ever glorious by the grace of the Lord. Aho batasvar yashasasthiraskari kusasthali punya yashaskari bhuvaha pashanti nityam yaranugraheshitam smitavalokam swapatim smayat brajaha. Undoubtedly, it is wonderful that Dwarka has defeated the glories of the heavenly planets and has enhanced the celebrity of the earth. The inhabitants of Dwarka are always seeing the soul of all living beings, Krishna, in his loving feature. He glances at them and favors them with sweet smiles. Purport. The heavenly planets are inhabited by demigods like Indra, Chandra, Varuna, and Vayu, and the pious souls reach there after performance of many virtuous acts on earth. Modern scientists agree that the timing arrangement in higher planetary systems is different from that of the Earth. Thus it is understood from the revealed scriptures that the duration of life there is 10,000 years by our calculation. 6 months on Earth is equal to 1 day in the heavenly planets. Facilities of enjoyment are also similarly enhanced, and the beauty of the inhabitants is legendary. Common men on the earth are very much fond of reaching the heavenly planets because they have heard that comforts of life are far greater there than on the earth. They are now trying to reach the moon by spacecraft. Considering all this, the heavenly planets are more celebrated than the earth. But the celebrity of earth has defeated that of the heavenly planets because of Dwarka, where Lord Sri Krishna reigned as king. 3 places, namely Vrindavan, Mathura, and Dwarka, are more important than the famous planets within the universe. These places are perpetually sanctified because whenever the Lord descends on earth, he displays his transcendental activities, particularly in these 3 places. They are perpetually the holy lands of the Lord, and the inhabitants still take advantage of the holy places even though the Lord is now out of their sight. The Lord is the soul of all living beings, and he desires always to have all the living beings in their swarup, in their constitutional position, to participate in transcendental life in his association. His attractive features and sweet smiles go deep into the heart of everyone. And at once it is so done, and once it is so done, the living being is admitted into the kingdom of God, from which no one returns. This is confirmed in the Bhagavad Gita. The heavenly planets may be very famous for offering better facilities of material enjoyment. But as we learn from the Bhagavad Gita 9:20 through 21, one has to come back again to the earth planet as soon as the acquired virtue is finished. Dwarka is certainly more important than the heavenly planets because whoever has been favored with the smiling glance of the Lord shall never come back again to this rotten earth, which is certified by the Lord himself as a place of misery. Not only this earth, but also all the planets of the universes are places of misery because in none of the planets within the universe is there eternal life, eternal bliss, and eternal knowledge. Any person engaged in the devotional service of the Lord is recommended to live in one of the above-mentioned 3 places, namely Dwarka, Mathura, or Vrindavan, because devotional service in these 3 places is magnified. Those who go there to follow the principles in terms of instructions imparted in the revealed scriptures surely achieve the same result as obtained during the presence of Lord Sri Krishna. His abode and he himself are identical, and a pure devotee under the guidance of another experienced devotee can obtain all the results even at present. All right, Krishna. You want to share anything, Prabhuji, at all?
Yeah, I feel like the whole mood of, what we were talking about uh, with the own intention of bhakti in our seva and our service to Krishna and knowing Krishna. I think it's very special that, we get to give sometimes, and it's not that we're even expecting anything from Krishna, but when the reciprocation's there, or from the devotees, and something is there, that's very transcendental. So it's something to be acknowledged.
Absolutely.
Yeah, different type of mood, even that we can't even put it into words or see it sometimes. Krishna is, providing these opportunities to. Anyways, grateful for hearing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Krishna's reciprocation. Yeah. Yeah. Well, I'll keep going. Vinamrata snana hudharineshvara sumarchito yasya grahita panibihi pibanti yasakyadaramritam mahur vrajastriya samumuhur yarashayaha. O friends, just think of his wives whose hands he has accepted. How they must have undergone vows, baths, fire sacrifices, and perfect worship of the Lord of the universe to constantly relish now the nectar from his lips by kissing. The damsels of Brajabhumi would often faint just by expecting such favors. Purport. Religious rites prescribed in the scriptures are meant to purify the mundane qualities of the conditioned souls to enable them to be gradually promoted to the stage of rendering transcendental service unto the Supreme Lord. Attainment of this stage of pure spiritual life is the highest perfection, and this stage is called Swarup, or the factual identity of the living being. Liberation means renovation of this stage of Swarup. In that perfect stage of Swarup, the living being is established in 5 phases of loving service, one of which is the stage of Madhurya Rasa, or the humor of conjugal love. The Lord is always perfect in himself, and thus he has no hankering for himself. He, however, becomes a master, a friend, a son, or a husband to fulfill the intense love of the devotee concerned. Herein, 2 classes of devotees of the Lord are mentioned in the stage of conjugal love. One is Swakiya and the other is Padakiya. Both of them are in conjugal love with the personality of Godhead Krishna. The queens at Dwarka were Swakiya, or duly married wives, but the damsels of Braj were young friends of the Lord while he was unmarried. The Lord stayed at Vrindavan till the age of 16, and his friendly relations with the neighboring girls were in terms of Padakiya. These girls, as well as the queens, underwent severe penances by taking vows, bathing, and offering sacrifices in the fire, as prescribed in the scriptures. The rites, as they are not an end in themselves, nor are fruits of action, culture of knowledge, or perfection and mystic powers ends in themselves. They are all means to attain to the highest stage of Swarup, to render constitutional transcendental service to the Lord. Each and every living being has his individual position in one of the above mentioned 5 different kinds of reciprocating means with the Lord, and in one's pure spiritual form of Swarup, the relation becomes manifest without mundane affinity. The kissing of the Lord either by his wives or his young girlfriends, who aspired to have the Lord as their fiancé, is not of any mundane perverted quality. Had such things been mundane, a liberated soul like Shukadev would not have taken the trouble to relish them, nor would Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu have been inclined to participate in those subjects after renouncing worldly life. The stage is earned after many lives of penance. Yavirya Solakena Rata Swayambare Pramatya Chaidya Pramukhan Shushmanaha Pradumna Shambamba Sutadoyo Para Yascha Hrita Bhauma Vidhe Sahasrashaha. The children of these ladies are Pradumna, Shamba, Amba, and so on. Ladies like Rukmini, Satyabhama, and Jambavati were forcibly taken away by him from their Swayamvar ceremonies after he defeated many powerful kings, headed by Shishupal. And other ladies were also forcibly taken away by him after he killed Bhomashura and thousands of his assistants. All of these ladies are glorious. Purport. Exceptionally qualified daughters of powerful kings were allowed to make a choice of their own bridegrooms in open competition. And such ceremonies were called Swayamvara, or selection of the bridegroom. Because the Swayamvara was an open competition between the rival and valiant princes, such princes were invited by the father of the princess. And usually there were regular fights between the invited princely order in a sporting spirit. But it so happened that sometimes the belligerent princes were killed in such marriage fighting, and the victorious prince was offered the trophy princess for whom so many princes died. Rukmini, the principal queen of Lord Krishna, was the daughter of the king of Vidarbha, who wished that his qualified and beautiful daughter be given away to Lord Krishna. But her eldest brother wanted her to be given away to King Shishupal, who happened to be a cousin of Krishna. So there was open competition, and as usual, Lord Krishna emerged successful after harassing Shishupal and other princes by his unrivaled prowess. Rukmini had 10 sons like Pradumna. There were other queens also taken away by Lord Krishna in a similar way. Full description of this beautiful booty of Lord Krishna will be given in the 10th canto. There were 16,100 beautiful girls who were daughters of many kings and were forcibly stolen by Bhomashura, who kept them captive for his carnal desire. These girls prayed piteously to Lord Krishna for their deliverance, and the merciful Lord, called by their fervent prayer, released them all by fighting and killing Bhomashura. All these captive princesses were then accepted by the Lord as his wives, although in the estimation of society they were all fallen girls. The all-powerful Lord Krishna accepted the humble prayer of these girls and married them with the adoration of queens. So altogether, Lord Krishna had 16,108 queens at Dwarka, and in each of them he begot 10 children. All these children grew up and each had as many children as the father. The aggregate of the family numbered in the millions. Hare Krishna. Hey Prabhuji, I might not go too long here because it is getting late and I have many things still to do. I'm expecting a van full of brahmacharis to stay here for the next 2 days, and I still got to prepare for them.
Yeah.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
messaged them asking when they're coming. They haven't responded to me all day, so I don't know. Who knows? Who knows what will happen?
Okay.
Anyway, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Yeah, again, I was relishing the reading. Thank you. I've missed a few days just taking care of my son and been engaged. So nice to connect directly here. Thank you.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's nectar. Let me see here. And we got a few long purports before the end of the chapter. It might be a stretch to finish it tonight.
Yeah, it's fine. Take the time you need now. So I appreciate hearing. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Yeah, I'll probably just call it there for now. All right, Krishna. Thank you for your association, for tuning in,
Hare Krishna.
being
People.
cool.
Nice to see you, Prabhuji. Oh, chant and be happy.
Yeah. Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Vanchakopa Tarubhischa Kripa Sindhubhya Eva Cha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Anantakoti Vaishnavrinda Ki Jai.
Yay.
Hare Krishna.
Hare
Thank
Krishna.
you again. We will see everybody tomorrow, regular time.